Are you ready to confront what most people are afraid to say aloud in a world filled with shallow talk and sweetened advice? There is a rare form of power in facing uncomfortable truths, and this subject, why married women are often emotionally vulnerable and targeted, is not about condemnation. It is about insight, awareness, and above all, power. If you value truth over comfort, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below. Let's start a real conversation. Now, let's go deep. Behind the ring, the illusion of emotional safety marriage is commonly seen as the ultimate form of security, emotional, social, even financial. Yet many married women quietly come to a hard realization. Security is not the same as connection. A wedding ring may shield from social judgment, but it does not protect the heart from emotional deprivation. In Stoic philosophy, attachment to external things, including marriage, is considered fragile. True wealth is not about accumulating more, but about needing less. When a woman's identity is deeply fused with her role as a wife, any crack in that role can create deep psychological fault lines. Once a calculating outsider can sense long before she does. The vulnerability of unseen women. One of the greatest emotional injuries is not abuse. It is neglect. Many married women are not miserable. They are numb. They feel invisible. They have given their time, their youth, their energy, and even their dreams to a marriage that slowly turned them into supporting roles in someone else's life story. A Stoic would say, "We are not disturbed by events, but by the meaning we assign to them." The belief of being overlooked and unvalued erodes inner stability. So when someone new notices her, praises her, laughs at her humor, what follows is not betrayal. It is revival. She is waking up from emotional hibernation. The Predator's Toolkit. Emotional intelligence as a weapon. Predators do not announce themselves. They wear empathy. They practice what Stoics would call false virtue, appearing moral while acting from exploitation. They recognize loneliness disguised as loyalty, kindness misread as weakness, and desperation masked by duty. They also know a married woman is often less guarded because she does not expect danger. Society tells her she is safe, and that belief becomes her blind spot. The Stoic warrior prepares for what may come, not for what they hope life will be. By contrast, a woman conditioned to trust the perceived safety of marriage may lack that mental armor, the seduction of relevance. After years of marriage, many women do not long for adventure. They long for relevance. They want to feel seen, desired, interesting, alive. When a woman begins to feel like a background figure in her own life, attention from someone else does not feel dangerous. It feels like oxygen. Stoicism teaches us to observe emotions without being controlled by them. True strength comes from mastery of the mind, not from outside events. But without that inner strength, a woman may seek relevance externally, and in doing so, she becomes susceptible to illusion. The myth of good intentions affairs rarely begin with malice. They begin with ease, with talk, with connection. It often sounds like this: "He really listens. He respects my thoughts. He makes me feel like myself again." But intent is not the same as truth. Stoicism reminds us to act from reason and nature, not from temporary validation or pleasure. A Stoic woman would ask, "Is this connection freeing my spirit or simply feeding my ego?" Because an unchecked ego is often the entry point for manipulation. Routine, repetition, and the death of mystery romance flourishes on mystery. Marriage relies on routine. But when routine extinguishes desire and mystery is replaced by predictability, emotional distance can grow. This is not always failure. Often both partners simply stop evolving. Stoics called this stagnation, the result of an unexamined life. When we stop reflecting, growing, and adapting, we become predictable, reactive, and eventually bored. For many married women, that boredom becomes fertile soil for risky curiosity. It may not be conscious, but it is real. and predators prosper there, from caregiver to forgotten self. In many societies, women are taught to serve, emotionally, physically, spiritually. She becomes the caretaker, the mediator, the quiet foundation. But in giving everything, she gradually disappears. The woman she was before marriage fades. Her dreams are postponed. Her body changes. Her time is no longer her own. So when someone reminds her of who she used to be, it doesn't feel like temptation. It feels like revival. Stoicism, however, teaches that true freedom comes from courage. The courage to maintain your essence, even while fulfilling your roles. Stoicism versus emotional hunger. Stoicism calls for detachment from craving, but emotional hunger is not easy to quiet, especially after